India is Vishwa Bandhu. How do we, for example, approach the ongoing crisis in Middle East from that vantage, where we can perhaps counsel both the sides, that statement actually, that position actually getting reflected in the statement of MEA today, but how can we actually make it sure that escalation does not happen?
Well, look, when we took a position on the Ukraine conflict, a lot of people questioned it. Today, those very same countries, many of them, are coming around to the recognition that what we were advocating was actually very wise. Right now, I can tell you there are 200 countries in the world, and many of them, probably all of them, in some form or the other would be affected, directly affected, if this crisis, if the violence in the Middle East, in the Gulf, in West Asia gets worse. We speak for a majority of countries in the world who say, look, calm it down, don't escalate matters, because, what happened yesterday night was an escalatory development. So we today believe that there should be calming down of this, that, a lot of us actually must come together to see how there is a better way of dealing with it than by recourse to violence.
And when we're talking about parties, BJP's manifesto, we have had manifestos coming in from the opposition space, particularly the Congress party, the CPM, and they are talking some specifics about India's China policy, India's Pakistan policy. In the case of CPM, even our nuclear weapons policy, sir. While the BJP manifesto is sort of silent, does not get into specifics, so there is no attempt being made to respond to the opposition space in terms of those issues. Yesterday, for example, the Congress party has said that on China there seems to be some kind of Modi guarantee that the government would not take on the Chinese in the manner that they thought it should have. So is it a deliberate strategic silence so that the government gets that kind of a strategic space to maneuver, or there's something more to it?
Well, first of all, you are talking of comments from a party which is responsible for the loss of 38,000 square kilometers of our territory to China, and which is responsible for the fact that POK is today under the occupation of Pakistan. So who does what? I think the record is very, very clear, and I don't even want to talk about the communist manifesto, because frankly, as a nationalist, I am acutely uncomfortable, and I'm being very polite, acutely uncomfortable with what they have put forward. I cannot imagine any nationalist Indian would say these things. But put that aside. What I am saying, we are saying today, we are today talking about zero tolerance on terrorism. Now, what does zero tolerance of terrorism mean? It means Pakistan, right? But the Congress party doesn't think so, because the Congress party thinks Pakistan and terrorism nothing to do with each other. We are today talking about theaterization. We are today talking about building border infrastructure. Why are we talking border infrastructure? Because border infrastructure primarily relates to China. But the Congress party doesn't think it relates to China, because they did nothing on the border. So, my friend, we have everything to do with Pakistan, everything to do with China, and we have beyond. But we are not this very superficial posing by scoring debating points, which are, by the way, completely at odds with their own record.